Howdy everybody, it's the Wyoming Stone Ranger coming to you again, this time from the ranch house. I have had a bunch of requests from you guys to say, what do these rocks look like after you get home and cut them open? So we're going to take a look at some of that today. We got 3 specimens that we picked up out there in the hills on our last video, and we're going to cut those open and show you what they look like on the inside. You never know, sometimes they're beautiful, sometimes they're just okay, but it's always fun to see. It's kind of like a treasure hunt. So here we go. We're going to cut some rocks today. Woohoo! Here is my 14-inch Highland Park rock saw. It's got an automatic feed, automatic shut off, and these are the rocks that we picked up the other day out there in the hills that we're going to cut open and see what they look like on the inside. That's the biggest one right there. That's the one I have the most hope for. Kind of unusual. I don't know, we'll see. And then there's this one. It's looking pretty agatey there. I think that's going to be nice and agatey when we open it up on the inside. And then the last one that we're going to do today is this little chunk of Jasper, this Jasper nodule. I can't wait to see what that looks like on the inside too. So that's the 3 we're going to cut today, and we'll show you that process here. All right, here we go. Open up the old rock saw here and make sure that the lid's not going to come down and smack us in the head. And we're going to take this biggest rock first. We're going to put it in this vise and get it clamped down just as tight as we can. We want to make sure that that rock is not going to move, because if it does, it'll bind up the saw, and that causes all kinds of problems. You burn up a belt, you could even burn up the motor on the saw. We do have some overload protection on this thing. See, this table slides. There's a lever over here. The table slides in. Let's see, we're going to get that rock in there a little bit closer. And we're going to cut it right about there. All right. Try and move that rock. Oh, it's cramped in there pretty tight. Crank down on these 2 wing bolts here a little bit more just to double check and make sure. And then we want to move the rock into the saw blade. And you see how that saw blade is not quite turning yet? There we go. Now we got her. We want to make sure that that blade is free. If that blade's not free, it's going to bind up, and we don't want that at all. Next thing we got to do is there's this little chain here. It sets the automatic feed. So we got to figure out about where that's going to be. And we're going to try it right about there. So what happens is, as the automatic feed moves the rock into the blade, when we get to the end of the rock, it's going to help us shut the thing off, and it actually flips the switch on the side of the saw here. So want to make sure there's lots of mineral oil bath inside the saw. Make sure it's closed, and let me grab something to wipe my hands off. All right. The next thing I want to do, even before I start this saw up, I'm gonna have to take off my hat here and put on some ear protection. My hearing's bad enough already from too many years of loud music and shooting guns and working on construction sites and things like that. So here we go. See, it starts up, and here in just a second you'll be able to hear when that blade starts to hit the rock. just starting to hit it now. Agate's really hard, so this is going to take a little while for that blade to get all the way through the rock. Probably about 15 or 20 minutes. So stand by. We'll show you the results when we're done. Here are those 3 rocks that I cut to varying degrees of success. First of all, let's take a look at this guy here. That is the smaller one, the Jasper. It's actually a little bit on the boring side inside there. Not a whole lot of color going on. Not too interesting at all. The next one I cut was the biggest one, and that came out the best. There is a lot of beautiful color in there. Some agate and Jasper going on together. Cut several slabs out of that bigger rock. Let's take a look at one of these up in the sunlight. Oh yeah. That's gonna be really nice. That's the kind of thing you might just take and hang in the window. Let the light shine through it all the time. There's another beautiful piece of it right there. That one just came out real good. I like it a lot, what we found on the inside. And then that other piece of Jasper, this guy right here, it's not too bad. Kind of like some of the color, especially on this edge right here. Pretty root beer looking. That's old Silver in the background with the hideout there, parked here at the ranch house. That one's not too bad. Pretty fun to cut, but by far, that is the best one right there. Really like the way that one came out. See, those slabs are, oh, maybe 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch thick. Let's see what they look like if I put a flashlight behind them here. See what that does. Pretty nice. Well, there you go. Got to see some of the rock that I cut. I always talk about cutting things out there in the field, and then when I get home, I get her done, but I don't often get a chance to show you guys. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. I'll keep the videos coming. This time of year in Wyoming, there's been snow, followed by wind, followed by snow. So the ground out there is pretty white, or it's really muddy. But here soon, we'll be able to get out more often and more consistently. I'm the Wyoming Stone Ranger. I hope you're having a great springtime, and I can't wait until we saddle up and ride again. Happy trails to all you rockhounds out there. We'll see you soon.